The Centennial Cup, what is it? Who goes? Why? What? Where? How about it? All the above. And more specifically, let's talk about the results from this year's tournament. Now, the Centennial Cup used to be called the RBC Cup. What is it? It is the National Junior A Championship in Canada. All the top teams in each league go there, including the host team. So the OJ, the CC, the AJ, the MJ, the SJ, the SIJ, the NOJ, QJ, the champion of each league and the one host team form one big tournament. Previously, the way it worked and when it was the RBC Cup was you won your league division, then you went to a bigger tournament in your region. So let's say if you were Quebec, you went with the OJ, the CC, and the Maritime winner, and you guys played another tournament, and then you went to the RBC. To make it a little more like the Memorial Cup, it was only the 4 top teams, the host, 1 West, 1 Central, 1 Eastern. And that's how they made that RBC Cup. Now they just take the winner of every league and the home team. So when it comes to the Centennial Cup, this year the winner of the tournament was the host team, the Calgary Canucks. Great team. Personally, on a personal opinion, when it comes to host teams, whether it's the Memorial Cup or the Centennial Cup, I'm not a fan of having a host team. I think you should have the winner of each division, and that's what the tournament is. Because the host team, knowing that they're hosting that season, can just stack their roster, right? Even if they lose the season for whatever reason, or they're having a bad year at Christmas before the season, they can go trade away everything and stack their roster for that event. I feel like it's a bit of an unfair advantage compared to the teams that have been building year after year after year. In this situation, you know you're hosting the team, but that's a personal opinion. When it comes to the Centennial Cup, I wouldn't have a host team. When it comes to the Memorial Cup, I wouldn't have a host team. I would personally bring the champion of the USHL in there, but that's a personal thought. Now, when we look at the Centennial Cup this past year, and we're just going to look at some of the scores and just kind of point out certain things. The OJHL team, the Trenton Golden Hawks, beat the Manitoba team 5-4. Close game, winner of each division, makes sense. OJ, MJ, both great leagues. The next game, the MHL team beat the CCHL team 4-3, the Maritime League. Historically, the Maritimes are not as good of a league as the CCHL. Advancement-wise, overall commitment-wise, all of that stuff. So that's a bit surprising. Then you go look a little further. Cam River Fighting Walleye, the SIJHL champion, beat the Golden Hawks, the OJ team. If you look at the stats, the advancement, the placements, the movement, all of it, the SI is much lower than any OJ team. Overall, the league to league, it is much, much lower. Now, in this situation, I'm assuming the Cam River goalie stood on his head and was absolutely outstanding to give his team a chance to win. And it was a close score. It was 2-1. But it just goes to show you that when you get on the ice, the game is played there. It's not played on the score sheet. It's not played on the stat sheet. It's not played on historical data. It all depends on how you show up to the rink that day, how ready you are, how much work you put in, how dedicated, how detailed you are, how good you play. The game is played on the ice. Anybody can beat anybody. CCHL versus the Quebec League, 9-4 win for the CCHL. Destruction. The next game, the NOJ team beat the AJ 6-2. The AJHL is supposed to be the second strongest league in Canada if you look at overall statistics and placements. Not player per player, year by year. Historical statistics. The AJ is a stronger league, yet they lost 6-2 to the NOJ winner, which if you look league by league is a huge gap. The host team beat the Quebec team 11-6. Manitoba then beat the NOJ team 6-3. The CCHL team, which lost to the Manitoba League, then beat the home team 7-2. The AJ team that lost to the NOJ team then beat the SIJ team 3-1. And we can go down and down and down further and further and further. Now, I know I'm throwing league after league after league, and it's getting a little bit complicated. Go look at the schedule, go look at the stats. The reason we're talking about this is to prove a point. At the end of the day, we rank the leagues. We rank them based on statistics from elite prospect, from advancements, from college commitments, from pro drafts, from U Sports commitments, whatever it may be. All these leagues are ranked historically, year after year after year, on a multiple different factors. But at the end of the day, the game is played on the ice. That 60 minutes from whistle to whistle will dictate what happened. It doesn't matter if you were the worst team in your league, in the worst league in Canada, playing the best team in the best league in Canada. How you show up to the rink changes the game. How you show up to the rink, how focused you are, the details you focus on, the details you put in, the details you execute, the way you play as a team, your attitude. Everything that goes into being a hockey player can change the outcome of the game. And it might be a cliche, it might be, stereotypical to look back at Miracle on Ice, one of the greatest hockey movies ever made, personal opinion again. When Team USA beat Russia, everybody went nuts, nobody ever expected it, and Coach Herb Brooks says it.
If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game.
You never know what's going to happen. And this Centennial Cup this year specifically shows that. The worst junior league in Canada beat the best in this tournament. They beat them. If they play them a second time, they'll probably lose. But that one and done game, they beat them. The guys went out, played as a team, did all the details they were supposed to do, gave everything they possibly could, and came out winners. And this is the mindset, the attitude you need to have when you're going into tryouts, you're going into a season, you're going into playoffs, whatever it may be. Those details, that mindset, changes how you play, changes your focus, allows you to put everything on the line every single day. Because it doesn't matter who you're playing versus, what matters is what you do in the moment and how you execute. You see this every day in so many different sports. The underdog team, they pull out a win, they pull out a big game, and everybody's shocked and freaking out, and that's when you get the bandwagon fans. But it happens because it's a game of inches, it's a game of mistakes, and you never know what's going to happen. When you're looking at your next team, when you're looking at your next league, don't look at, oh, I need to be in the AJHL because they're the top league in the country, and you know they have the most commitments, and that's the ideal situation. That's where everyone wants to be. But if you're not there yet, it's okay to go play in a lesser league. It is 100% okay. Go dominate, go develop, go make sure that your teammates get better because of you. Because again, like these games show, like this past tournament has shown, what matters is what happens on the ice. Because I promise you, that game, when the game was over and the SI team beat the AJ team, people were talking. They were going to look up these players. What happened? How did they play? I have to go watch this game because it's a shock to everybody. And those players who might not have been on anybody's radar might be now. And that could be you. So the point of this video is, yes, to explain to you what the Centennial Cup is, but also to explain that it's not always about being in the perfect situation, the perfect team, the perfect roster, the perfect league. It's about what you do on the ice, how you fight for your position, how you fight for your job, how you fight to make your team win a hockey game. And when the team comes together to get that big win, there is no better feeling. So this might be a bit of a different video than we usually do, with not a ranking, more of an opinion piece, but I wanted to emphasize the Centennial Cup because it showed some crazy scores that were not expected whatsoever, especially when you look at the overall Hockey Canada roster rankings throughout the season. These teams were nowhere to be found or completely opposite ends of the poll, and yet the game was played on the ice and the scores spoke for themselves. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of information, gave you a little bit to think about when you start looking at where you're going to play next season and what you can do and the impact you can have. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to us to the links below. Don't forget to check out our probability tool if you want to see historically with the data where you fit compared to everybody else who's been in your position in the past. And we're excited to say that we now have WAHA, Women's Advancement Hockey Advising, some of the best women hockey players around the world, helping the next generation play as long as possible in some unbelievable organizations. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.